Welcome to the Wannabe Warcasters podcast. I'm James, and we're joined by Scott, Ian, and Ben. Yo, guys.
Yo.
Yo.
Hello.
How's it going?
With the release of the new Space Marine and Necron codexes, today we're going to discuss all the changes, new units, and what got us into collecting these factions in the first place. Ian, you have some thoughts on the Space Wolves FAQ. Would you like to kick us off, bro?
Oh, yes, I would. Right, let me just bring up my bullet points of pure rage.
Oh, Jesus.
So, obviously, first on the agenda is the Wolfen. They went from absolute beasts to absolutely diabolical.
Hard disagree, I think.
Just the loss of the stats, mate, that's what upset me.
No, I think like they went from a unit you'd never touched to a unit you'll auto bring now.
No, just like the loss of Death Frenzy as the Feel No Pain, and then losing the stratagems like only Death Does Duty End and stuff, and also like Honour the Chapter, it sort of harmed my combat potential there.
Do you not think everything's going to change when you get your supplement, though?
Hoping so, yeah. I'm hoping it just reverts back and like obviously I get my units more powerful again, because I feel like I've lost a lot of uniqueness to my army.
I'm very glad that they've been nerfed, but I think it probably was a little bit too far.
Yeah.
They were too good. They were too tough and they hit too hard. And now that obviously hammers are weaker now as well. So what are hammers?
-2 AP, 3 straight damage still, instead of -3 AP.
I worked out with Scott, right? You know when I asked you how many points your Wolfen cost? If Scott took the equivalent for his Death Shroud Termies, his Death Shroud Termies would have been more.
Yeah.
But you would have had I know you didn't have it on every guy, but you would have had a 3+ invulnerable with a 5+ feel no pain, while Scott would have had a 4+ invulnerable and a 5+ feel no pain. And that as well, you can attack as well if he went first. I felt like they were just flat out better than Death Shroud. I mean, Death Shroud could half the damage, but like they're letting like more attacks through before halving it.
And even if the Death Shroud somehow won, they would die from Death Frenzy.
Yeah. Well, obviously, the loss of Death Frenzy as it is, like losing the ability to attack when they die, and it also gives the Feel No Pain, that's a massive loss that for them, considering they haven't had an extra wound yet like the Firstborn have.
They can still attack when they die, though. It's just that they can't attack if they've already attacked that phase.
Yeah.
But they can still get an attack in.
I agree with the Feel No Pain going. I think though it's not completely bad that because they've upped them to toughness 5, but I mean that's not like a.
Oh, have they?
It's not a good change though. That I mean, in today's meta, like the toughness 4 and 5 is such a minor difference. It's not going to help them at all. The real loss was the Feel No Pain loss, which really helped them survive.
Most infantry guns are strength 4, so it's definitely going to help you go into 5. I mean, Plague Marines at 5 is a huge difference.
They're still your best melee unit. Like they're like they're more like in line with Death Company now. I feel like
I think part of the problem that has happened to Wolfen is that their key role now has changed. Like since they came out for the last 3 years since they were released, they've been a OP delete unit. So they'd go in and they would delete what they saw in combat. And obviously, like any Space Wolves player, you go, "Wow, these are great. I'm gonna play quite a few of them."
Yeah, they're our best unit.
Whereas I think now they are infantry slayers, so they will come onto the board and they will kill elite units. They won't be deleting heavy vehicles or Imperial Knights now, like they were.
That's what they were best at, though.
They've changed them what they do now. They've changed the purpose. Do you not think like the points reflect that now?
I don't know.
Like, could you not take a lot more, and could they not be in smaller squads and kind of go for like infantry and not just put all your eggs in one basket with it?
Well, the new hotness is Thunderwolf Cavalry, isn't it? Because they basically the bounding lope rule, what they had, allowed them to advance and charge. So the Wolfen threat range was massive, considering they moved 7-inch base. It was really powerful. but the Thunderwolf Cavalry have that now.
Right.
The Wolfen have lost that.
It kind of makes more sense.
But don't Wolfen, they get shock attack all the time now, don't they?
Yes, they do, yeah. But the thing that gets me is, yes, they have sort of been buffed in combat.
And they're always in the assault doctrine as well, aren't they?
Yeah. If you look at the survivability of the unit now compared to what it was, sometimes they already struggle to survive, but now it's going to be even harder to get them to the target.
I don't think they should be really focused on surviving anyway. They're supposed to be hitting hard.
Yeah, they shouldn't be your toughest unit. It doesn't really make sense. What
do you think my toughest unit should be then?
Probably probably Thunderwolf Cavalry.
Or your vehicles. Your vehicles are tougher.
Yeah, Space Wolves do play a lot of vehicles, don't they?
Yeah, vehicles. I don't know. Does it make sense?
The thing is, in 7th edition, obviously you remember Thunderwolf Cavalry were like absolute units that could take vehicles out easily, and then that changed to Wolfen when the Thunderwolves got nerfed hard, and now this has happened. Yeah. It's swung around again now, and now the Wolfen have been nerfed, and now the Thunderwolves are back to the top.
Yeah. What do you think that your supplement could possibly give you to make them a decent unit again?
I'd like the Feel No Pain back, or at least an extra wound to compensate for the loss of the Feel No Pain.
Yeah.
Obviously, I understand the need for Storm Shields to be lowered, because I think a 3+ was a bit too good.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
But I think that, considering there are only 2 wounds, the loss of the 3+ Storm Shield save and also the Feel No Pain is going to really hurt them now. So I'd like to see either the Feel No Pain back again or them be made to 3 wounds.
Okay.
Do you think with the toughness 5 now, though, like this was discussed a little bit a moment ago, but I'm just going to bring it back because, like, I think Ben mentioned, bolt fire now, for example, from Chaos Space Marines isn't going to wound as easily on them. So part of the way I would have taken out Wolfen before was to fire lots of guns, lots of shots at them that were low strength and just hope you'd fail that invulnerable save.
Yeah.
Whereas I guess now that's going to be harder to do and you can get more high strength weapons fired at them.
I would imagine that there'll be, for example, if you play against Space Marine armies, they'll have lots of heavy intercessors which will have the strength of the guns to be able to down them. I mean, what are the actual strengths of the weapons? I've not looked into it too much at the moment.
I don't think strengths have changed too much on most weapons. I think there's been a few changes to...
Yeah.
I think the key change was... Ben, you might know on this. Is it the...
It's plasma and flamer, really.
Yeah, and...
I've got it up on the computer now. Let's have a look. See.
Go on, then.
Like the main changes is like the range to some weapons. The damage has stayed the same. The strengths have stayed the same. APs have changed. That's about it.
I think that's something we talked about last time was... Well, I think I mentioned how plasma was unreliable. So it seems like plasma's got a bit of an overhaul. Like a lot of the stuff does 2 straight damage now, the heavier stuff, which is the way it should always have been because it was just far too unreliable.
Hell Blasters look really good now, I think.
Yeah, heavy plasma incinerator Hell Blasters look really good. Like 2 straight, 3 overcharged, that's +1 for the Imperial Fist doctrine in Devastator.
Yeah. Have you seen some of the Dark Angel combos?
No, go on.
So it looks, I can't be 100% accurate on this because I've not seen all of the rulings properly, but from what I can see, obviously Hellblast is heavy now, is damage 2 straight off the bat, isn't it? Then overcharge, it's damage 3.
Yeah.
And with Dark Angel's new rules, if you stand still, they get +1 to hit, and that's in both shooting and in combat. So a squad of Hellblasters next to a captain, you can actually move them now as well, and there's a stratagem that allows a unit that has moved to act as if it has not moved.
Right.
So they're also getting their chapter tactic, and they're re-rolling 1s next to a captain. So you can move them strength 8 or overcharge strength 9. You've got that extra damage, and you're hitting on 2s, re-rolling 1s next to a captain. So I think that's the sort of thing that would scare me.
Oh, the core?
I'm not sure. I think that's the thing. Like, some of the rulings now have changed because of core. Like, core's bringing that up is a good point. Do you want to talk about core, Ben?
Well, no, even if they weren't core, you could always have your captain, a chapter master, and then make it. I think you can give his reroll hits to one unit in the command. You select in the command phase one unit within 6, and I think that unit can then reroll hits. And I don't think it has to have core. I'm not 100% on that.
Oh yeah,
that's pretty cool.
So core is one of the big changes, isn't it? What do you guys make of this change now with core units? You can't sit at the back anymore with a lord buffing your vehicles anymore, Scott, can you?
Yeah. So I think the main reason it was brought in, it was good intentions, because I think it was to remove completely 2+ to hit re-rolling ones. No, I don't think you'll really see that now.
You'll see it on units that would not really be obviously it's going to shake it up a bit, so you're going to see it more on units that weren't benefiting really mainly from it.
Yeah, but how that's affected me. So, I mean, in the latest bat rep, I run a lord that gives reroll ones to my 3 plague burst crawlers. Now, obviously, I'm probably gonna lose that, but the Arch Contaminator rule, which gives rerolls to wound for plague weapons, I imagine that's going to stay, and that's not going to become a core thing. So I still can take it there, but
yeah.
But then we've got a new Death Guard Lord coming, and I imagine he might do something to tanks by the sounds of it. This his description, so he might be.
Oh yeah.
He might come. Oh,
that's cool.
So yeah,
I'm just a bit gutted for Wolves with this core stuff. I mean, obviously, with the supplement coming next month, it might all change. But currently, for me, with the loss of a lot of powerful units like Wolfen being core, and that relying on close combat, it can affect me quite a bit in terms of how many hits I actually manage to get through to do damage.
On the flip side, you've got lots of intercessors, haven't you? So, I don't know about lots, but you've got intercessors. They've got core in there.
Yeah.
Like, one thing that intercessors have is bloody loads of attacks.
Yeah, I've got 3 squads.
And you want the assault ones, don't you, as well?
Well, I've got some already. I've got 10 of them. I've just not paid them up yet. I'm going to put probably a hammer on one pack leader on one squad, and then a fist on the other pack leader in the other squad.
In fact, from this new codex, because I don't know if you saw like the image, the leaked images and stuff. Was there anything new you got like that you didn't get before? Like, I know one thing you must have got is scouts.
Yeah.
With better ballistic skill, because I remember they were pretty poor ballistic skill, weren't they? Previous edition.
My scouts are actually better. They were an elite option. I never had them as troops.
Yeah, but now they're still elites now for Marines now.
Yeah. They were called Wolf Scouts basically.
Yeah, because you get lots of stuff, but some of the stuff just has different naming.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, like, was there any vehicles you couldn't have before, or units you couldn't have before, but now you can?
Centurions, for an example, I couldn't take them before.
Oh, you can have Centurions now?
Yeah, I can take Centurions now.
That'd be interesting to see.
See, there's, don't forget you get all the stratagems Space Marines have. Some really good ones, like your vehicle always counts at full wounds. That is amazing, that. Like, the amount of times when, like, you really need your vehicle to perform, and that stratagem, it basically just replaces the old one, which was doesn't suffer penalties for moving.
Yeah.
And shooting with heavy weapons, which was absolutely poor because, like, it was just cheap. It was just better just to keep your vehicle still.
Yeah, it is good. I'm not going to lie though, Ben. The shield dome going from a 4+ invuln to a 5+ is pretty hard for me because I rely on my impulsors getting my units up and close.
Well, I'm laughing the whole time at this because I did warn you about all your invuns you've been spamming. I did warn you.
Yeah,
it's like someone at GW just went space walls, invulnerable saves.
This is Ian Pickstone here.
Let's just take that out and let's just nerf it to hell.
Damn it!
It's unfortunate with Wolfen is they've just been like subject to every nerf. Like obviously the Thunderhammer and the Storm Shield was a bit more direct because that affects everything.
There was a point I played you in, and you did have like a storm shield in every unit. Like your Longfangs would be at the back, and they'd have a Terminator with a storm shield at the front. And I'd just be like, how is it that they can do that? It's like, it's cool, don't get me wrong, but man, it was so hard to play.
Because we Space Wolves, bro.
There was one game I played against him in 7th, and I think I did 2 wounds to a Thunderwolf, and that was it, because he had so many storm shields.
That sounds about right.
I had Bastions as well.
Do you know what one thing is good though, what I think for my army, what I really like? The fact that units that all get Hunters Unleashed can all heroic intervene as if they're characters. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I made my Howling Griffins. I went for their chapter tactic, I went fluffy. So I had only lose 1 model from a failed morale, and I think it was characters heroic intervene 6 instead. And then I always went for the Warlord trait, which was he made units around him heroic intervene as well.
Yeah,
and I can say that it really helps because if one unit gets charged, you can just give them support with other units getting into combat. Obviously, though it's changed a bit, heroic intervening models can now be attacked.
Yeah,
but that is still it seems like it's bad, but it's also good because it means that your opponent will have to spread his attacks out.
Yeah. Well, obviously though, still losing certain stratagems. I mean, they let us keep Touch of the Wild, for example, which is one of the most used stratagems now. What we got from Saga of the Beast, that's a really good one. Which is the extra hits on a 4+.
That's good.
Yeah, Touch of the Wild is amazing.
Can we talk about Blood Angels? I think the main thing that everyone sticks out to everyone, I've seen it in chats everywhere, is the Sanguinor and his ability to heroic intervene onto the board.
Oh yeah, it's incredible.
Everyone's saying it's amazing, but it is good. But if you're up against someone like Tau, it's absolutely useless.
Do you have to do it, or is it an optional?
I think it's an option, but you can only do it in your opponent's charge phase.
No, it's interesting.
Yeah, Tau are never going to charge you.
Yeah, so. I suppose it gets you where you want him, but at the worst possible time in.
It's fluffy as heck, though, the rule, because I know that he appears needing most.
So for me, when I read the FAQ for Blood Angels, I kind of thought, oh, this is really cool because there was more changes than I was expecting. I mean, I wasn't expecting such a rules kind of edit or refresh that they've done. And, Sangri Guard got buffed again, which is cool because for me, last edition, Sangri Guard were good, but they weren't so talking about Wolfen there, I feel like they're more closer to Wolfen now.
Yeah,
whereas in 8th edition, I felt like there's quite a gap.
Yeah.
Now, they get +1 to hit if they're near their Warlord, which used to be re-roll to hit near their Warlord. But actually, I think the banner's better now. So the banner used to be that you re-rolled to wound, but now it's the same banner that Astartes banners are. On a 4+, they come back and do an action again. And then it gives to Sangri Guard, I think specifically, it gives it a +1 to hit. So you get that +1 to hit from the banner now rather than your Warlord. Because it was always quite hard, having them right next to your Warlord.
Yeah.
And then the buff to power weapons. I mean, they're straight 2 damage axes and swords now, +1 sword, strength, and +2 on the axe. And I just think they look good. They got an extra attack as well. So for me, I thought it was win-win.
Yeah, it's good.
I mean, there's different changes to Blood Angels. Mephiston looks a bit different. And I think at the moment he doesn't get the bonuses to being a chief librarian like you get in the book. But I imagine they'll FAQ that at some point.
I love the fact now that you've got Death Company intercessors and you can have them kitted out with the Assault Marine loadout.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That is a lot of attacks.
I reckon they'd look good on Flesh Tearers, Ben.
I'm definitely going to be buying some.
Yeah.
Definitely going to be buying some, Assault Primaris.
Just quickly, and I want to go to you, Scott. So, Scott, one of the key changes in the FAQs, one of them that got hit hard is Imperial Fists.
Yes.
What do you make of that? How do you feel about it?
In Devastator Doctrine, we get +1 damage to heavy weapons. Now that's been changed to only if the weapon is strength 7 or above. So that means that the Gatling cannons, you don't get it. The assault version of the Plasma Incinerator wouldn't get another damage, and Stalker Bolt rifles wouldn't get a damage and those are the ones I can think of at the top of my head.
Even heavy bolters.
Yeah, heavy bolters, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So my dreadnought would be like, the cannon's like 6 shots, and it will just completely outperform the plasma version you can take. I can't think what the name is.
To be fair though, it only affects against vehicles or buildings.
Yeah, that's true, but you could pepper vehicles. I mean, it's mainly the Gatling gun that is the main reason it's hit so hard, because you could get so many shots off with that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not too bothered about it, because I do think it was a bit too good, to be honest. It was a little bit overpowered. And it's probably more in line with what they originally intended it to be.
Yeah.
Because originally I bet they didn't think, oh, people are going to have like Stalker bolt rifles just like hitting really hard. They're thinking, oh, the big cannons are going to hit slightly harder. And now that's how it works. So I imagine this is what they originally intended. It's more fluffy as well.
Do you think your list will change, or do you think it'll kind of just evolve a bit?
No, I don't think it'll change. So the heavy intercessors are coming out, and I was toying between the heavy version of the gun and the assault version of the gun. But now with this change, I'll probably definitely go with the assault version of the gun, because, well, I won't get any bonuses for it being heavy, and with the assault version, we also have exploding 6s, so we get an extra hit on 6s, and they're assault 3, so it would make sense to go with that.
Yeah, they'll be nasty.
Yeah. I'm definitely taking heavy intercessors when they come out.
It's such an Imperial Fist thing.
They do look mint.
I think we should move on to a bit of Necron chat. We haven't done too much Necron chat yet, have we? Have we done any?
No.
Not done any. We need to talk about Necrons.
I think we need to talk about Necrons. What new units and models for Necrons? Because it feels like everything's new. Even the Warriors feel like a new unit. What are you excited about?
So I've just got 3 Doomstalkers that will hopefully be on a bat rep soon.
Yeah.
And Ben, and that is kind of like my theme. I'm going Doomstalkers, the Reanimator, and Pure Warriors. And then Ben is kind of going down the Destroyer route. So our armies are actually quite different.
Destroyers all the way. I love the new model though. The Locust Heavy Destroyer. Kind of makes me want the older models as well with him, because he can lead the squad. And I feel like that made the models better in my eyes now.
Yeah, there's some incredible models. Like, I wasn't expecting this amount at all.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just very quickly trying to get them painted so I can play with them.
I don't think you've painted any yet, have you?
Yeah, I painted one single warrior.
Wow.
No, but I'm like batch painting them, so I've done a bunch of washes.
Sounds like you're doing great batch painting there if you painted one.
Well, I painted one to completion, so then you've got the idea of what you want to do to it, and then you start batch painting, you know what I mean?
Did you use the YouTube videos for it to help you paint it?
I did. You look at the Games Workshop one, but I'm using like the older Games Workshop one that was in a magazine or something.
Oh, okay.
Which was the Sotek green and the skink blue dry brush, because the new one's quite different. It's very simple at the minute. There's not a lot of detail in. I'm just trying to do it as fast as I can to get I've got like a 1,850 point list that I want to try.
It's from a backwards time, back when Wolfen were good.
It was.
So with Necrons, so with the new codex, has there been any changes to dynasty rules that have clocked your eyes, or is it quite the same?
Mine is the Nihilak dynasty.
Scott's is the rubbish one. Mine's the good one.
So mine used to be reroll 1s to hit if you don't move, and now it's objective secured for all units, and
Well, all units are objective secured.
yeah,
Providing they've got the,
Necron keyword.
OP.
not Necron keyword, the
Oh no, sorry.
whatever the rule is, that it's a code or whatever it is. But also, if you're got an objective and someone else has objective secured, you count as an extra model instead.
Yeah,
Well, not instead, but
and then do you want to just read out the rule for when I'm in my own territory?
yeah, when he's basically when he's in his own deployment zone, his units treat AP -1 as 0.
Yeah, that's good.
It does seem good, but it's quite situational, because if you're playing a game type where the deployment zone is quite large, like it could be half the board, then it would be pretty incredible. But if it's a small deployment zone and you have to move about a lot, then it wouldn't come into play as much.
But I argued the case that secondaries now mean you can actually tailor to what you like, and there might be ones where like you can actually be a bit more focused in that.
Yeah.
But there's another bit as well, is part of his dynasty is when the Eternal Guardian protocol is active, he gets both effects. We worked out in his deployment, because he's going to be in his deployment at the start of the game. It means he treats -1 as 0, and then he's also everything counts as in cover.
Yeah.
So that means if you shoot him with a heavy bolter, so it's AP -1.
Yeah.
It means he gets +1 to his save.
Yes. So the Warriors would have a 3+ save against a -1 gun.
Yeah.
First turn, which is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
There's also I can't remember which has it. It might be one you can take, but there's a trait that lets you have like a free 6-inch move for every model before the game starts.
Oh, that's cool.
It's amazing. I can't remember the name of it, but I think if you take like a custom dynasty, you can take it. So I was considering doing a custom dynasty instead of Nihilak. Still paint them that way, because I think I just love that scheme, really.
Yeah, it is a nice scheme.
But try like unique dynasties.
Well,
and
what I liked as well with your, obviously the one you're less keen on, is the fact your Lich Guard, you've got them with shields. Don't forget that adds 1 to your saving throw.
Yeah, that's true.
So you've got that on top of being in cover, and also you ignore -1 AP.
Yeah. Yeah, so you could keep them out in the open, and you'd be pretty confident they'd be fine after a turn of shooting.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, it's really strong. Yeah.
You could just sit on an objective and just hold it.
So Ben, what was your dynasty?
No, Novak. I think that's how you pronounce it.
You've painted some really nicely, Ben, I've got to say.
Oh, thank you.
What do they get?
+1 to my charge roll. Each time I make a melee attack when I've was charged or performed a heroic intervention, I get +1, an extra AP to my weaponry. It's pretty good.
So they like the close combat?
Yeah.
They're the combat one.
I can see why you've gone heavy destroyer then, if they're close combat.
Well, that's the thing I like. I actually like the shooty ones, but I'm still going to have them in that, because I just feel like this murderlust destroyers, I feel like it goes together. But as well, I get both.
But you do run the Scorp Tech destroyers as well, so
yeah.
You got 6 of them, so it does make sense.
So I played your Necrons just before the Codex. They were pretty beefy in combat, to be honest. Like, I got really slaughtered.
What did you use?
Yeah. I used Dark Angels.
Well, you used like everything he built, and I used everything I built.
Right.
Yeah.
But in all fairness, like in a real game, you would have kept your distance, really. You just wanted a quick game and you came.
Yeah, it was a small board. We only did about, was it 500 points?
Yeah, about 500, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, they moved quick. I didn't really have much space to stay back, and that reanimation just was really good for you. Though I do have to say, one thing next time that would be interesting, like our characters got caught up in quite a fight. I had an interrogator chaplain, and you had the new big destroyer lord, didn't you?
Yeah.
I forget the name. What's it called?
The Scorpec Destroyer?
Yeah. So now my rules are a bit different, because after the AFAQ for Dark Angels, the Inner Circle rule has changed.
Oh, yeah.
So in 8th edition, Inner Circle was this kind of weird rule that the Deathwing got and part of the Raven Wing. And it was that if you get into combat with Fallen, you reroll to hit. And I think there was something else, but I think it was that you couldn't really fail morale. But it just was a bit weird, because you never played the Fallen, to be honest. But now, one thing that is really cool though is the infantry. So this will be all Terminators and Deathwing characters, on a 1 to 3, they ignore that wound on an unmodified roll.
It's amazing that.
So that stratagem, I forget the name of it. Is it
transhuman physiology? On a 1 to 3, you ignore the wound, basically.
Yeah. So Deathwing characters like an Interrogator Chaplain get that all the time now, which I just think is amazing.
That's really good.
Yeah, that's
stubborn.
That is too good.
But the wording's interesting because a few people, myself included, thought, wow, that means Ravenwing bikers get that. But bikers now aren't classed as infantry. They're just classed as bikers.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just Deathwing, really. But Deathwing Terminators now, I think they've probably got the best Terminators in the game.
They've just become absolute chads.
They'd be so tough.
Yeah.
Beast unit. That's sick.
Yeah, crazy tough.
Deathwing Knights hit on a 2+ as well with basically Thunder Hammers.
Oh my God.
Move over, Wolfen.
How the hell did he do that?
So they've got these maces of absolution.
Yeah.
That have changed quite a bit, but now they're basically a Thunder Hammer, but they don't have the -1 to hit.
What?
And their weapon skill, Deathwing Knight's weapon skill is 2+.
Oh my God. That's really... What's the AP?
They're going to be insane.
I think it's the same as a Thunder Hammer, so -2.
What? What about the damage? Is that the same?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that is really good.
I'd love to fight Mortarion with those Deathwing Knights, not going to lie.
I wouldn't love that.
Yeah. Wolfen Dark Angels edition.
So, Necron-wise, what Necron characters and relics are you looking forward to using or buying or playing?
Necron relics. Well,
that Void Dragon looks really good. I'm not going to lie.
He does.
All the Satan look good, especially even the base ones. They look good.
Let me talk about the fucking Nightbringer.
Let me tell you a story.
Let me tell you a tale of the Nightbringer.
Back when Wolfen were OP.
So the Nightbringer has an ability that can ignore invulnerable saves, and on top of that, he can ignore feel no pain saves. So disgustingly resilient, anything like that.
Oh my God!
This guy is probably the best combat unit in the game. He will wreck everything, and on top of that, this is the most powerful thing. He can ignore abilities that only let you lose a certain amount of wounds per phase.
Oh, really? So like what Gazgul has?
So yeah, so he just ignores that straight up and just cuts right through that. It doesn't matter. So he is the best combat unit in the game.
Oh my days.
What I'll say about that invuln thing though is there is a stratagem that lets you do it on any Satan, and they can then ignore invulnerables as well.
Oh God, I'm scared now. But
at least for the Nightbringer, you don't have to pay a command point to do it. But imagine the Void Dragon doing it.
Yeah. I think the Void Dragon looks really strong though. I mean, it loses 3 wounds max.
The Void Dragon is the vehicle killer.
No, it's not just the vehicle killer.
The Void Dragon is the vehicle killer, definitely. It destroys vehicles.
It's more than just a vehicle killer.
That model as well. That model is just beautiful.
Yeah.
Scott, do you know what? For that though, like I've got like an image of Space Wolves forming this epic shield wall, right?
Yeah.
Of all these storm shields lining up against the Nightbringer, and he just cleaves like a giant hole in the shield wall with his scythe.
Yeah, boy.
I'm just like, no.
Yeah, he's really interesting.
I'm going to use it only in death. Oh wait, no, I can't. Crap.
What I like as well with Satans is they have like their own version of psychic powers, but they just can't be stopped, pretty much.
Yeah.
Or they can be stopped. Just depends on your dice roll.
Yeah.
What do you make about the Silent King?
He's incredible.
Model's sick.
He is incredible. So much
Will you use it?
Output.
Because your Lord of War looks big now, because you've got the Silent King and you've got the Monolith.
Yeah. I know, it's difficult.
And then you've got the Tesseract Vault.
Obelisk as well.
Asterix.
I always thought with Necrons, because of, the Dawn of War games, I think it's the first Dawn of War game when they did the Necron DLC, there's that cinematic trailer of a big kind of monolith type obelisk destroying Space Marine flyers.
Monolith!
And I want to see that in the game so badly. I want to see your monoliths do that. I don't know if they can now, but that'd be cool if they did.
We destroyed that and this is over. Charge!
What a trailer.
Oh, that was well good.
Yeah, the monolith is amazing now. It's hard to know what guns you'd take on it though.
It'd probably be best with anti-infantry, maybe.
Yeah, people seem to be saying that because you get 24 rapid fire shots.
Oh my days!
But even the weirder bit is you'll want to charge it in. That's the weird
thing.
Yeah,
we need to talk about this. The monolith is incredible in combat. So it's 6 attacks that auto hit, strength 8, -3 AP and 3 damage.
Oh my god!
It's a beast in combat. It's a beast in combat.
Did you say auto hits?
Yeah, auto hits.
Oh my god, that is really good.
The portal just swallows units. It's like
Necrons like the new OP.
Necrons look really good.
There's so many options now.
It's really good that.
So many good things.
Like I think that's been buffed a lot is probably in keyword aspect, but is Cryptex. It's like several different options for them, and they've got like stratagems and abilities, and they've got their own version of relics they can take, as well as taking the actual relics to buff them. And some of the stuff they can do is absolutely insane, and the models for some of them, like the Chronomancer. Oh,
yeah, we've got 4 Cryptex now. About 10 different war gear things we can give each of them.
Yeah, and then they can take a relic.
It's so good. There's so many options, and then they can take relics on top.
But yeah, what you can do is, well, for starters, you can like subtract 1 from leaderships. It also you pick a unit within 12, which is quite kind of short range. You roll 3d6, and if you beat their leadership, if you beat their leadership, you get to pick like 1 of 4 actions to happen to them. Can't perform actions, which is good if they've like picked it for secondaries. They lose objectives secured. You half their advance and charge rolls. Yeah, I think it's sick.
Yeah.
Wasn't it like very hard for you to get high AP weaponry? Now it's just like AP -3.
Yeah, it's spammed. It was literally like things like las cannons and stuff and melters that were like the high AP stuff, and now everything's like you say, just everything seems to have a good level of AP.
Yeah, I felt like Games Workshop when they did Necrons for 8, they were like, right, let's give their weapons the ability to extra hits on 6.
Yeah.
Oh, that might be too good. No AP.
It was all about Tesla back then, and buffing Tesla. Immortals. Warriors weren't very good.
I love the troop choices.
Warriors now have definitely made a comeback. They're getting reroll 1s to reanimation, and it's easy. New weapon, which they've actually improved it for the Codex. It's Assault 2 now instead of Rapid Fire 1.
Yeah.
And there's so many ways to buff reanimation for them, and they've made Tesla slightly worse because Tesla is an extra 2 hits on an unmodified hit of a 6, and it used to be like you'd use My Will Be Done to get it on a 5 and a 6, and you'd hit so many times, but now you can't do that. Which I still think they're good, but yeah, I think the Warriors are back and they're here to stay.
Gotta say though, for me,
no one asked you though.
I'm just saying it anyway. For me, I'm more hesitant to face Necrons now than how I used to be. Like with my best stuff getting debuffed a little bit. Some of the best stuff, and like all the quality stuff Necrons have right now, pre-supplement, I'm very nervous to face them.
Good.
Necrons are very, very good at the minute, and I can't wait to play them.
Okay. So, dynasties or chapters, up to you, pick one. Why did you go for that specific chapter or dynasty? And let's start with Scott.
Literally because I like the scheme. I chose this scheme before dynasties even had rules, so
yeah.
And then I just kind of kept with it just because I wanted to.
Okay.
But yeah, literally the scheme is usually the first thing that I choose with these things.
Yeah.
It's all about themes. I love themes.
Okay, Ian, what about you for Space Wars?
Well, I'm a no-weeboo, aren't I? So I love all things Viking, basically. And Space Wolves I just love them. So, of course, I would pick Space Wolves.
They're your one true love, aren't they?
They are, mate. Well, that and Katie, but
I remember you saying about you went in to get some stuff for another army and one of the GW.
Oh, yeah. Basically, little flashback here. When I went to the Manchester Games Workshop with Callum, at the time I had Eldar, and I went in to buy some more Eldar, and I saw this battle force for Space Wolves, and I was like, what is that? And I remember saying to, I think it was Paul, the manager there, and I went, excuse me. I said, what are they? And he was like, they're Space Wolves. And I went, what are they? And he went, they're like Space Vikings for Space Marines. And I went, oh my God, I want them. So instead of buying Eldar, I bought the Space Wolves, and as pretty soon Eldar were just a thing of the past, mate.
You were like Doctor Strange, weren't you, when he gets told to open his mind?
I've never looked back. I've never looked back, and I never will look back, because Space Wolves are just what tie me to this hobby so much, and I absolutely love them. Everything from the aesthetic to the lore to the play style is everything that I love.
It's all about being a close combat army.
Exactly.
Ben?
Hello.
Do you want to focus on Dynasty or Chapter? It's up to you.
Ben just loves everything.
I love everything, right? If Games Workshop was selling it, I am buying it.
Ben's the ultimate hoarder.
What? The mortgage? What's that? Bills?
Right, Ben.
Hello.
Necrons. Tell me about Novak. Because you did collect them for a couple of weeks years ago, and you painted some Immortals, didn't you?
I painted one Immortal very successfully.
That was still one Immortal more than Scott.
Oh,
yeah, it was.
I did paint one, actually.
Jokes.
That was savage.
It was absolutely savage. But what draw? I don't like at that time. I could have just done a new scheme, but I still went back to that one. I just liked the red on their armor. It just looked nice. I liked the fact that they were just like complete utter maniacs. I did a bit of lore reading. Didn't he like kill a Satan that was like the Satan of blood or something?
Oh, really?
And apparently, like this one infected them, so they're just like complete and utter maniacs, you know. And it's funny that the red, just like the colour, tends to go with corn.
Yeah, that's true. So for me, I'll talk about Blood Angels just quickly. Blood Angels are probably my most painted force, but
don't you just collect Dark Angels?
I collect too much.
No, he's just an Eldar player.
But to be honest, Blood Angels, I like the colour scheme. I quite like Sangre Guard as well. I always like those, so those are part of the reason I got them.
Your guard, like, amazingly painted. The wings, I love the wings you've done on them.
Yeah, wings are cool.
Yeah. Cheers, man. But yeah, no, I mean, I think collecting an army, it's a few things. I mean, obviously the lore, if you get into it, but it's always the colour scheme and the look of them that starts it off, isn't it?
Yeah. So basically our collective answer is they looked pretty.
Okay, twist on the question. If you were starting an army today and you didn't have, say you were getting back into Warhammer, you didn't really have any models, what army for Space Marines, so let's stick with Space Marines, what Space Marine chapter would you collect? Because of their new codex and all the new Space Marine joy we're getting right now.
The one with the best colour scheme. Salamanders, because I mean, let's face it, dragon scales on the armor looks sick.
Yeah.
Adrax Agatona is a cool looking cape. I mean, capes plus Space Marine armor equals win.
Okay, go on, Scott.
Maybe is it the Carcharodons?
Oh yeah, they're cool. Space Sharks.
Yeah, they're a successor of Raven Guard, aren't they?
Yeah, that's correct.
I would probably, I don't know, something like that. Maybe a more combat-based one.
Yeah.
Something a bit different. Not one of the founding ones.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, probably that.
Ian?
Space Wolves.
Space Wolf successor.
Well, say you collected Space Wolves and you've had a gap.
Do you know what? If I didn't collect Space Wolves, I would collect Flesh Tearers.
Oh, good choice.
No, that's cheating.
You already did that. Can't have that.
You did that twice.
All right. I'm just trying to think now then.
What about Minotaurs? You like Minotaurs then?
Yes. Minotaurs as well. I do like them.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like if I loved Minotaurs, it'd be like the straight opposite to Space Wolves, because Space Wolves just hate the High Lords of Terror, and the Minotaurs are basically their lapdogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, cool.
I'd like to change my answer.
Go on, Ben.
Soul Drinkers, because I remember reading the book and loving the purple.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a
that's
cool
a good
scheme,
show.
that.
To get another book, you know.
Well, the chapter I heard has been reformed, hasn't it? All Primaris.
Yeah. But that's the thing, and that's the whole book's about. Are they going to follow the same fate again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I think for me, I'd collect Crimson Fists, I've just always loved that picture of them against the Orcs. And when they did the Primaris version with the classic Marines as well, the Firstborn, I just thought, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
The great thing now, though, if you were getting into Space Marines, there's so much choice.
I love Necrons. Yeah, I love Necrons.
Shut up, you goddamn butthole.
Anything else anyone wants to add before we finish?
So the third bat rep is out between me and Ian, Death Guard and Space Wolves. And lockdown is kind of screwing us a little bit. But we are currently working on the Iron Warriors and Blood Angels game, which there is a trailer for.
Yeah.
Hopefully have it out by the end of this month, but do not quote me on that because we've said that before.
Brilliant.
Right.
Cool.
I think that's it, innit, boys?
There's a lot to talk about with Space Marines and Necrons, but, listeners, if you've got any points you want to bring, comment below. Tell us what you think, what you're looking forward to using and what you're looking forward to collect. And it's been great to chat with you guys tonight, obviously.
Any Space Wolf players, please comment why you are also upset with the changes like I am. Let me know your thoughts and your rage.
All right, bye, everyone.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Bye. See you later. Take care.
See ya.
Bye.
Where are we going?